Another Skinny Luka photos come out, but this one's different. Luka might be skinnier than he was in his rookie season. Actually, best shape of his life. So what is he doing? Well, Luka did a full interview with a fitness magazine to explain everything, but here's the thing. The article is full of lies, and it conveniently sidesteps the one question that has haunted Luka his entire career. And if this continues, all this Skinny Luka stuff doesn't even matter, because we have seen Luka slim down before, but never like this. So before we get to what this article doesn't say, how did Luka get in this shape? Well, because the Lakers got bounced in the first round, he stopped basketball for a full month, the longest time without ball outside of an injury since he was a kid. The idea was to let his body fully recover, but now it is 2-a-day workouts 6 days a week. The typical day starts with a 90-minute circuit routine of weights, agility, and on-court work. Then his first meal. Luka is intermittent fasting, so that first workout is on an empty stomach. The afternoon session is all on-court shooting and recovery work. We do know that he is on an almond milk protein shake once a day to get his 250 grams of protein, but his diet is also gluten-free and low sugar. But dude's not trying to gain muscle to look good at the beach. He wants increased performance, and Team Luka has determined his superpower is body control. He is never going to be that vertical athlete like Ja Morant or a speed freak like Russell Westbrook. So they want to perfect Luka's stop and start game with eccentric movement, which basically means it's his ability to slow down and then explode again. It's why you see him doing a ton of resistance band drills and balance work. Also, dude circuit trains in the offseason, which is a conditioning thing which he needs to work on, not muscle building. So he's in shape, and that is great. But let's be clear, we have seen this before, like a million times. Remember in 2020, after a great rookie year, Luka came in looking visibly heavier. Oh, he still made All-NBA, so who cares, until it became a pattern. 2021, played for Slovenia in Tokyo and looked good, but ESPN said that he reported to Dallas at 260 pounds, 30 pounds above his listed weight. Luka even admitted at the time, I had a long summer, I relaxed a bit, maybe too much. Pretty funny, but not so much the next year, because when the yo-yo weight continued, they missed the playoffs. Not all his fault, obviously, but conditioning and defense were questioned, especially late in games. Obviously, a big reason why the Mavericks traded him. So how is it any different now? What's he gonna do different? Well, this article actually admits to his weight issues. They say at the start of his NBA career, Doncic mostly received advice from Mavs trainers and nutritionists. During the off seasons when he returned to Europe, the limited guidance left him flailing. Oh yes, it was the limited guidance. He just didn't know what to do. The Mavs trainers didn't tell him, I'm not supposed to drink all night and eat junk food? Why didn't anybody tell me? Obviously, this was the Mavericks' fault. Also, during the season, the vicious NBA travel schedules gave him little time to clean up his diet. And Luka says, especially in the NBA, you travel almost all the time, you're never home. Which is true, and I'll bet it's tough. But as an NBA player, you literally have a team of people whose job it is to make sure that you succeed, okay? This isn't like the rest of us traveling to hotels away from home. And why is this fitness magazine making excuses for him? Oh, you can see how poor Luka has had to live this whole time. Also, dude had the perfect role model when he came to the league in Dirk Nowitzki, who trained hard into his 40s as an NBA athlete. But the number one lie in this article sums it all up. On the court, he was an immediate fit in the NBA system, but off it, he struggled to navigate NBA life. But since 2023, when Team Luka entered the picture, he has gradually gained stability. Total BS. Okay, now part of that is true. Okay, he's hired a full staff to look after his body. He has a dedicated trainer for workouts and on-court stuff, a physio to prevent injuries and measure stuff, a nutritionist, and he plans to add a full-time masseuse and shooting coach. So put it in your resume. But this isn't new. They even say it. Team Luka was hired in 2023, and he's made gradual progress. No, he hasn't. The same cycle is repeated ever since 2023. They have done nothing to help him during this season because they can't. It's up to him, and as long as it's up to him, nothing changes. Oh, he'll be motivated to get skinny in the offseason, but this article doesn't even mention that he's done this in the past only to bloat back up during the year. They just conveniently leave that out, pretending like this has never happened before. Look at him, he is actually skinny for the first time. But the real question is, has Luka had enough? Has he finally matured to the point where he becomes disciplined all year round? It reminds you of a guy who gets like super shredded for the summer at the beach on vacation, then lets it all go during winter when he's alone pounding pints of ice cream. Nothing wrong with that, but for a pro athlete, it kind of matters. My concern is that Luka does unsustainable things to get in shape that are not realistic to continue. Like, is he really going to intermittent fast during the year? Like the whole team, when Team Luka isn't looking over his shoulder, but he's with the whole basketball team, the Lakers, and everyone gets up early for breakfast, Luka's going to be like, no thanks, I'm good, I don't eat till 11. No! Or maybe the pain of getting traded by the Mavericks really does change things for good, because they didn't mention it in the article, but Luka has admitted to being crushed when the Mavs sent him to LA. And it reminds you of what turned Michael Jordan's career around. Can you believe that in the late 80s, the Bulls lost to the Pistons 3 straight years in the playoffs? And each time the takeaway was the same. Hey, Jordan's a great player, but not physically ready to carry his team if you beat him up enough. So after Chicago got bounced in 1990, MJ had enough. He said, I was getting knocked around and I took it personal. So that summer, Jordan began intense training with personal trainer Tim Grover. They didn't just lift weights. It was about building functional strength, explosiveness, and durability so that he could absorb the Pistons' physicality and still dominate. He added about 15 pounds of muscle without losing his speed or agility. So the very next season, Jordan and the Bulls swept the Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals, then went on to win their first of 6 NBA titles. So yes, we may look back on this as Luka's Jordan moment, but this dumb article didn't even touch on that. But what's funny is this is the exact thing that the Pelicans are afraid is going to happen with Zion Williamson. They don't want to trade him. They're too afraid because he might get mature after the trade and the pain of that and then dominate somewhere else. The crazy part though is that the Mavericks gave up on Luka despite him being 10 times more accomplished than Zion. So the Mavs certainly don't think that that trade is going to motivate Luka to change for good and have his Jordan moment. So until we see that Skinny Luka is actually here to stay, I am not getting fooled by yet another Skinny Luka photo. But another player who could get traded is Jonathan Kuminga of the Warriors. So far, he is turning down all of Golden State's offers to stay, but what's going to happen next? Because the Warriors are the only team to make 0 signings this offseason. They need this Kuminga situation to play out. So I had a look at what could happen next and how it seriously will affect Steph Curry.